So we're back, and well, I kind of have some good news and some bad news. The good news is we got the Duckling all touched up and finished. The bad news is I already recorded this, and I really did not enjoy the recording. I don't know, something about me rambling way too long just kind of drilled into my head the wrong way. So, what we're gonna do is we're actually just going to we're going to redo it. I've already created a snapshot, so if I need to go back to how I want it to look, I can do that. So for now, we're just going to reset it and go boop. Okay, so first things first, actually, we're going to do, of course, the basic. Give it a quick little touch up. Not too shabby. Gonna try and boost it back up. A small dehaze, a little clarity just for those feathers. Vibrance is fine. And honestly, that is not too shabby. Tone curve, probably just a little bit on those feathers. Again, just small stuff. Grass can go down. Duck in the distance can go down. I can stay like that. Okay, so what I did in the earlier screen snapshot was I wanted the yellows to be a lot more yellowy. So basically, I would look at the well, that's not right. Basically, I'll mess with the hues and go from orange to yellow and kind of just make the little duck stand out more. So give it a little, not too much saturation. Bring that out just to highlight it, you know? And then what I noticed earlier was the red on its beak was shining a little. So we're gonna bring it down and boost the saturation up a hair. Same with the hues, see if we can't make it pop out more with its little tongue there and the grass nibble. Okay, so right now we're literally that close to finishing it already. And so next would be detail. It's pretty well, actually it was at ISO 1250, so we're just gonna do a little denoise. I mean, you'd never really need to denoise until you reach like 64 ISO. So again, that'll be a future project for me to mess around. Lens correction, I'm actually going to enable that just to bring him nice and squared up. Effects, I think I gave it a little bit of a vignette just to make it more towards the little duckling than the background itself. And last but not least, I did a little mask on the subject and I actually changed the color temperature. So what I did for the color temperature is I kind of leaned it towards the yellows more, just so that way I can get the yellows on its fur just to really show off. So again, just small things like that really make a big difference. Gonna bring up the exposure, dehaze is fine. Gonna create a snapshot. So we're gonna do a before and after. So here's my original one, and here's an after. So this one, I think the last adjustment I did not do was I did some cropping, made it really the main attention. And again, another one was the saturation on the greens. Really wanted the greens to be more green. That way there's a nice little contrast between the yellows and the greens of that little duckling. So again, we're just gonna do a quick little double check, update, see how close we got. So I think I overdid the greens a little bit on this new one, but I mean, again, it's all just having fun with it and figuring out what fits the colors you want. So that's really the photo. Just gonna do a little crop, and I'm a lot more satisfied with that. And we have one more photo which I'm gonna do, and that is going to be a little adorable little python. And so this was in just downtown. We were going to aquarium for a friend's birthday, and had my camera because of course you're always going to bring your camera everywhere. And what I love about reptiles is you can really bring down that shutter speed, and you can just get the sharpest aperture you want and bring down the ISO. But in this case, because it was a very dark room, I had to crank up the ISO to 5000 because, again, like, you really have to figure out how to get the right lighting. So I had to kind of like compensate with a low shutter speed, but I still want that sharp aperture. So this is the finished look. We're going to go back. And again, it's just very flat, and that's what we want overall. So first thing I did was I wanted this little guy to be the main focus point. So we already got that in the way. Auto it. See if, oh, exactly. Sometimes auto doesn't work, and that's why we gonna reset that. Go back to this. All we're gonna do is dehaze a little because those cages can be a little humid with a little haze. We're gonna bring up the blacks a lot actually. We're gonna bring up the whites a smidge. Bring the shadows so we can really see that underbelly. Highlights, we don't really need to bring it too much. A little bit of exposure. Again, we're trying to like teeter-totter on that noise. You can already see it down here. Tone curve. We're gonna try and see if we can't bring that out. Bring down this. Bring down that. Bring that down. And so that's good. Now colors, I really want the greens to pop. So what we do with that is we kind of can mess with the greens, and the yellows on his skin is looking too, that makes it a little too, I don't know the right word for it, but it doesn't feel right. So for that greens, we're just gonna, well actually that's not, we're gonna bring it just a smidge just to make him a bit more colorful and lively, because back in the day, I used to have a ball python, and he wouldn't even like do anything hostile, and he had a really nice brown texture all over him. Again, he wasn't the fanciest, but he still was a spectacle for me to look at. So we're gonna try and use the denoise with the AI and see how that can work with this. So again, we're gonna try and get rid of that background noise right down there, and let's see. Come on. Oh man. So let's see. We're gonna bring it back to about 38. And I'm just gonna zoom out. Oh. Probably around right there. I said there, 40. All right, let's see what it can do. So give it a little bit of time. Hear my computer working its magic. And probably in about 20 seconds, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and how does that look? That, not too bad actually. I kind of like that. So we're gonna leave that as is. Once correction, gonna enable that just a hair. Any effects, I did give it a small little vignette just to really give that oomph. I don't know, there's something about a vignette that gives that oomph whenever it's a dark highlight or a white bright highlight. Now the last thing I think I want to do is I want to really make that eye pop out. I want it to get people's attention. So we're just going to do a quick little mask here. And we're going to boost the exposure a bit. A small little there, small little there. And bring the haze. Really get the clarity out so you can really see that detail. And now, one thing that kind of is throwing me off is this blue. I think that's a reflection off of the lights. And was that there before, or did I just not really pay attention much? So for this, I might actually bring down the blues and the aquas and really make it more on the green side. So what we can do, and we're just going to experiment here, is we're going to bring a little mask on this scaling part. And we're actually going to change the color temp to a green. Just going to bring that all the way there, all the way to the side. Kind of just mesh it in, blend it in with everything else. Kind of really bring out the hues with the tints. See if we can't. That's way too green. Right around there, I think. So, there it is. I'm just going to do a before and after and see how it looked. Well, because this is stacked, let me see here. So, honestly, I like it. I like it. There's one annoying thing about me and my photos is if I do not like the photo, I'll ignore it. Again, like there's been multiple photos of this lionfish, and there have been some good shots, but the the window glass was just not working for me. I could sometimes get in focus like this one. Again, we're just gonna mess with some auto. We're gonna crank this color temp to the yellows, get a little more warmer so we can actually see the colors. And I kind of like it, but all this noise is really obstructing the details, and I want to see if the AI can do it, but at the same time, I know in my mind it's not going to feel right with me because with the previous photo, I knew in my head that this photo can be, adjusted according to how I like it. And, well, I like it. And so before I even look at the raw or even before I look at the preview, I can immediately think in my head, this is the shot I'm going to use. And it's always great to have multiple backups, for example. Like again, I've had to use backups for multiple photos back in the past, but I began to kind of abridge from that and be more focused on, making sure I have the right shot to my heart. So I'm going off on a tangent. Anyways, I'm gonna export these photos out, so they're gonna be on the very last segment. I'm gonna try and start doing an intro and an outro for these type of videos, and we're just gonna go from there. Just keep the ball rolling. So stay tuned, and again, my next little videos are probably gonna be landscapes, or it might even be people. I'm just gonna try and get out there and do what I can, So take care.